In an extraordinary display of vigilance and cutting-edge technology, the U.S. Navy has intercepted a Chinese spy drone hovering above one of its prized aircraft carriers. This incident, emblematic of the ongoing geopolitical chess game between two global superpowers, underscores the growing sophistication and urgency in the realm of military surveillance and counterintelligence. How did the U.S. Navy detect and neutralize this aerial threat? And what does this incident reveal about the increasing surveillance activities and technological advancements of military forces around the globe? Join us as we unravel the complex details of the U.S. Navy interception of a Chinese spy drone above an aircraft carrier. In July 2024, Japanese fighter jets urgently took to the skies to intercept a Chinese TB-001 reconnaissance and attack drone that boldly flew over the strategically crucial Miyako Strait. The TB-001, also called the twin-tailed Scorpion, is an impressive aircraft with a range of about 3,700 miles and the capability to carry various payloads, including munitions. Developed by Sichuan Tengden Technology, this advanced drone can reach altitudes of up to 30,000 feet and stay airborne for more than 35 hours, making it a formidable asset in China's military arsenal. This drone's intrusion into the sensitive waterway, which lies between the Japanese islands of Miyako and Okinawa, caused significant alarm in both Tokyo and Washington. The Miyako Strait is vital for Chinese naval movements into the Philippine Sea and the broader Pacific Ocean, making it a potential choke point during conflicts. Control of this narrow passage, which is just 155 miles wide, could significantly impact the strategic balance in the region. Japan's defense ministry quickly released details of the encounter, including a map showing the drone's ominous flight path as it circled over the waters south of the strait before returning to its base. This incident highlighted China's increasing boldness in the region and its readiness to test the defenses of the U.S. and its allies. However, the TB-001's incursion was far from an isolated event. In recent years, China has significantly increased its military activities in the East China Sea and South China Sea, conducting numerous exercises and frequently entering the airspace and waters of neighboring countries. In June 2024, just weeks before the latest incidents, another Chinese drone, the WZ-7 Soaring Dragon, was detected on a surveillance mission over the East China Sea. This high-altitude, long-endurance UAV, boasting an impressive range of approximately 2,800 miles, approached Japan's southwestern coast, triggering alarms within the country's defense establishment. The WZ-7, with its sleek, jet-powered design, showcases China's rapid advancements in unmanned aerial technology. This drone is proof of China's growing capabilities, designed to operate at altitudes of up to 60,000 feet, well above commercial air traffic. Equipped with a sophisticated array of sensors, the WZ-7 includes high-resolution cameras and synthetic aperture radar, enabling it to deliver detailed, real-time images of the battlefield below. This technology allows the drone to conduct reconnaissance missions over vast areas, providing critical intelligence and situational awareness to its operators. The drone's synthetic aperture radar, in particular, is capable of penetrating clouds, rain, and darkness, making it an all-weather surveillance asset. As the WZ-7 hovered near Japanese airspace, the country's air defense radars closely tracked its movements, feeding this information to the headquarters of the Japanese Self-Defense Forces. There, analysts meticulously examined the data to decipher the drone's intentions and evaluate the potential threat to Japan's security. The incident highlighted Japan's ongoing concerns about China's military activities in the region, particularly in contested areas like the Senkaku Islands, which both nations claim. Meanwhile, across the Pacific, the U.S. Navy was dealing with its encounters with Chinese drone technology. Recent reports indicated that Chinese drones had been spotted shadowing U.S. naval vessels in the South China Sea, a region where Beijing has been asserting its territorial claims aggressively. These encounters underscore the growing tensions and technological race between global powers, with drones playing an increasingly prominent role in modern military strategy. In April and May of 2024, startling reports surfaced about Chinese unmanned aerial vehicles getting dangerously close to the USS Ronald Reagan, a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier and the flagship of the U.S. Navy's Carrier Strike Group 5. Ronald Reagan, a powerful symbol of American strength in the Indo-Pacific region, was on routine patrols in the East China Sea when these tense encounters happened. Although details are still classified, Navy sources have hinted that these drones managed to breach the carrier's defensive perimeter, coming within just a few miles of the ship before being driven away by vigilant fighter pilots. The idea that these drones could get so close to one of the most heavily protected warships in the world raises serious concerns. If China's drones can approach such a formidable target without detection, it casts doubt on the safety of other less well-protected assets. The incident sent shockwaves through the Pentagon, leading to urgent discussions and secret meetings about enhancing the Navy's ability to counter drone threats. What made the situation even more alarming was how these incidents blurred the lines between military and civilian domains, highlighting a new kind of threat that challenges traditional defense strategies. Back forwarded to January 2024, the FBI made a high-profile arrest involving a Chinese graduate student from the University of Minnesota, charging him with spying. The student, identified as 23-year-old Fang Yun, was accused of using a commercial drone to gather sensitive information on key U.S. Navy facilities. According to court documents, Yun employed a DJI Mavic 2 Pro drone to take detailed photos and videos of the Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia. This shipyard is one of the largest and most crucial maintenance centers for the U.S. Navy's Atlantic Fleet, hosting several nuclear-powered submarines and other vital assets. Yun's arrest was significant because it was the first time the Department of Justice had pressed charges under the Spying Act for using a drone in such a way. This case underscored a pressing concern. Commercially available drones, which are widely accessible, can be easily repurposed for spying. It highlighted the difficulties in distinguishing between harmless hobbyists and those with malicious intentions. Additionally, Yun's arrest was a stark reminder that the threat posed by Chinese drones isn't confined to high-tech military models like the TB001 or WZ-7. It extends to more commonly available consumer drones. In today's world, where technology spreads quickly and global supply chains are deeply interconnected, even common, store-bought drones can become tools for spying and disruption. For the U.S. Navy, this is a big deal. Tackling the challenge posed by Chinese drones requires a complex strategy. It's not just about using traditional military methods, but also involves diplomacy, legal actions, and regulatory measures. The Navy needs to work more closely with allies and partners and focus on advancing research and development in cutting-edge counter-drone technologies. Most importantly, it requires a change in mindset. The Navy must acknowledge that its era of uncontested dominance on the seas is ending. The future of maritime security will depend on how well it can adapt to a more complicated and competitive environment. As the Navy faces these hurdles, it can find comfort in knowing it is not alone. Navies and Coast Guards worldwide, from the fjords of Norway to the Straits of Malacca, are also dealing with the new realities of the drone age. In the Persian Gulf, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps had been using drones to harass and intimidate U.S. and allied ships for a long time, constantly testing their defenses and resolve. Over in the Black Sea, the Russian Navy deployed its fleet of unmanned aerial vehicles to keep an eye on NATO ships and gather intelligence on their capabilities. Meanwhile, in the South China Sea, where tensions between China and its neighbors were already high, drones became a major point of conflict. Chinese drones were seen operating near disputed islands and reefs, sparking protests from countries like the Philippines and Vietnam. The message was clear. The drone threat was not just a temporary issue or limited to certain regions. It was a global trend that was changing the face of naval warfare and rewriting the rules for everyone involved. For the U.S. Navy, the stakes were incredibly high. As the world's leading maritime force, it had the responsibility to develop new strategies, tactics, and technologies to tackle the drone challenge head-on. This wouldn't be easy. It would involve tough decisions and uncomfortable compromises. It would require questioning long-held beliefs and challenging established bureaucratic interests. But this was a mission the US Navy could not afford to ignore in the end. Countering the threat posed by Chinese drones wasn't merely a national security issue for the United States. It was a vital test of American leadership and determination. This challenge offered a chance to demonstrate to the world that the US was steadfast in upholding freedom of navigation, the rule of law, and the peaceful resolution of conflicts. As the Navy planned for the future, it did so with a clear sense of mission and resolve. Despite knowing that the path ahead would be tough and demanding, the Navy was confident in its talent, resources, and unwavering will to succeed. While Chinese drones continued to buzz and hover, the US Navy remained poised and ready, assured in its skill, bravery, and determination to protect American interests and ensure the freedom of the seas. In response to this persistent threat, the US Navy has deployed an impressive array of detection methods to keep a vigilant watch over the skies. Leading this effort are state-of-the-art radar systems, which include land-based installations, ship-mounted arrays, and airborne early warning platforms. These advanced technologies form the backbone of the Navy's strategy to detect and counter the drone threat effectively. These incredible pieces of technology keep a constant watch over vast areas, always ready to alert us at the first sign of an intrusion. One of these marvels is the C-band X-band radar, known as SBX. It's a colossal 280-foot-tall structure that looks like a giant golf ball sitting on top of a modified oil rig floating in the Pacific Ocean. This radar can spot and track objects up to 2,000 miles away, offering unmatched awareness of what's happening in the region. On the Navy's warships, advanced radar systems like the AN/Spy-1 and AN/Spy-6 offer 360-degree coverage, enabling them to detect and follow multiple targets at once. Adding to this defense network is the E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, a carrier-based early warning aircraft. This plane is equipped with a powerful radar capable of spotting even the tiniest drones from great distances. Despite these advanced systems, radar has its limits, especially in today's world where electronic warfare and stealth technology are becoming more sophisticated. To cover these gaps, the Navy also uses other detection methods. These include electro-optical and infrared sensors, acoustic arrays, and visual observations. For instance, the MQ-8 Fire Scout unmanned helicopter employs high-resolution cameras and thermal imaging to find and identify targets that might not be visible to radar. These systems are especially valuable in environments where land and sea clutter can make radar detection tough. Plus, there's the crucial role of human eyes and ears, the sailors and airmen who keep watch on Navy ships and aircraft. These highly skilled professionals are trained to spot the subtle signs of drone activity. To sharpen these skills, the Navy regularly conducts training exercises and drills that simulate drone attacks, testing how well their teams can detect and react to these threats. During these drills, real drones are often used, flown by Navy operators to mimic the strategies and capabilities of potential enemies. But finding a drone is just the beginning. Once a drone is detected and tracked, the Navy must decide on the best way to respond. This could involve electronic warfare, physical methods, or a mix of both. This part is where the real challenge lies, as the Navy must carefully weigh the need to protect its ships and personnel against the risk of escalation and unintended consequences. In a world where a single misstep could ignite a major conflict, the stakes are incredibly high. As drones buzz and hover over strategic areas, the US Navy remains vigilant, with its eyes and ears constantly trained on the skies. This constant vigilance is crucial because even the smallest threat can escalate rapidly. The moment a Chinese drone is detected, an intricate and well-rehearsed plan goes into action. The Navy's alert status levels surge, initiating a cascade of predetermined responses. Communication channels burst into activity as the chain of command is immediately notified, ensuring that every echelon of the Navy is ready to respond instantaneously. This level of preparedness is not by chance. It's the result of meticulous planning and frequent joint exercises with other military branches and allied forces. For instance, the Navy conducts regular drills with the Air Force, Army, and Marine Corps, as well as with international partners like NATO allies. This extensive training ensures that the response to any threat is coordinated and overwhelming. At the sharp end of this response are the Navy's interceptor aircraft, such as the F/A-18 Super Hornet. These advanced jets are equipped with cutting-edge radar systems and high-speed capabilities, designed to intercept and neutralize threats swiftly and efficiently. Their role is crucial in defending national airspace, and their ability to operate in various weather conditions adds an extra layer of effectiveness to the Navy's defensive strategy. The respected F/A-18 Super Hornet, a reliable workhorse of naval aviation, is always ready to launch at a moment's notice. Alongside it, the cutting-edge F-35 Lightning II brings unmatched stealth and awareness to the battlefield, making sure no drone can escape the Navy's reach. These aircraft are equipped with a range of advanced weapons and sensors, from high-tech air-to-air missiles to powerful lasers and microwave emitters. Their pilots are among the best in the world, trained to push the boundaries of human endurance and skill. But the Navy's approach to countering Chinese drones isn't just about raw power, it's also about precision and strategy. It's about using the right tools for the right job at the right moment. This is where the Navy's electronic warfare capabilities come into play. Using a variety of sophisticated jammers, spoofing devices, and other electronic countermeasures, Navy operators can disrupt the control and navigation systems of enemy drones, making them ineffective or even causing them to crash. These electronic warfare tools are especially vital in today's crowded and complex airspace, where the electromagnetic spectrum is highly contested and congested. By denying the enemy the ability to communicate with and control their drones, the Navy ensures it maintains a tactical edge. The Navy has the opportunity to gain a significant edge in the quest for air supremacy through the use of advanced electronic warfare techniques. These methods can disrupt or disable enemy communications and radar systems, creating a substantial tactical advantage. However, the deployment of electronic warfare tools is not without its risks and limitations. It requires precise coordination to ensure that these systems do not interfere with friendly communications and operations. Moreover, there's always the possibility that adversaries, such as China, might have developed sophisticated electronic countermeasures capable of thwarting or deceiving the Navy's electronic defenses. Given these complexities, the Navy must also be prepared to engage Chinese drones using more conventional means. This includes deploying its arsenal of guns and missiles to physically neutralize these threats. Navy warships are outfitted with an array of close-in weapon systems designed for such purposes. The Phalanx CIWS is a rapid-fire radar-guided gun system capable of shooting down incoming threats at a rate of 4,500 rounds per minute. Additionally, the C-RAM system provides defense against smaller projectiles, and the rolling airframe missile system is designed to intercept and destroy incoming missiles and drones. For engagements at longer ranges, the Navy can call upon its formidable surface-to-air missiles. The Standard Missile-2 and Standard Missile-6 are both integral to the Navy's layered defense strategy. The SM-2 has been a mainstay of the Navy's air defense since the 1980s and is effective at ranges of up to 90 miles. The more advanced SM-6 can engage targets over 150 miles away and is capable of intercepting both aircraft and ballistic missiles. This multi-layered defense strategy ensures that the Navy can protect its assets from a variety of aerial threats, ranging from low-flying drones to high-altitude missiles. In addition to these defensive measures, the Navy continuously trains its personnel in electronic and kinetic warfare tactics to stay ahead of potential threats. Using kinetic weapons against drones brings its own set of challenges and risks. Debris from a destroyed drone can threaten nearby ships and aircraft, and there is always the risk of collateral damage or unintended consequences. For instance, in 2019, the USS Boxer used a new Marine Corps system to down an Iranian drone, highlighting both the potential and the perils of kinetic counter-drone measures. Therefore, the Navy must carefully weigh the costs and benefits of each engagement, balancing the need to protect its assets and personnel with the potential risks of their actions. The key to the Navy's response to Chinese drones lies in its ability to adapt and innovate to stay ahead of an ever-evolving threat. China has been rapidly advancing its drone technology, deploying models like the CH-4 and the Wing-Long-2, which are capable of long-endurance flights and precision strikes. This requires a constant process of learning and experimentation, testing new technologies and tactics in real-world operations. The Navy is investing in directed energy weapons and electronic warfare systems as potential solutions to the drone threat, showcasing their commitment to staying technologically superior. It also demands a deep understanding of the adversary, their capabilities, intentions, and vulnerabilities. China's military strategy, influenced by Sun Tzu's The Art of War, emphasizes deception and the element of surprise. Only by truly knowing the enemy can the Navy hope to defeat them, anticipate their moves, and counter their strategies. In this sense, the fight against Chinese drones is as much a battle of wits as it is a clash of arms. It's a test of the Navy's ability to outthink and outmaneuver a determined and resourceful foe, to turn the tables on an adversary that seeks to undermine American power and influence. This involves not just military actions, but also diplomatic and strategic responses. The dance of drones isn't just a technical matter, it's a sophisticated geopolitical balancing act set against a backdrop of rising global tensions and clashing national interests. As unmanned aerial vehicles become increasingly sophisticated, they play a crucial role in the strategic chess game between nations. When a Chinese drone enters sensitive airspace, it's not just an intrusion, it's a strategic move that can spark intense diplomatic and military reactions. The U.S. Navy, equipped with cutting-edge technologies such as radar systems and electronic warfare capabilities, faces the challenge of responding to these incursions. They must carefully calibrate their actions to balance firmness with the risk of escalating conflicts. This involves a precise calculation: how to assert dominance and defend national interest without provoking a larger confrontation. Simultaneously, the United States must navigate a complex dance of deterrence and reassurance. This means demonstrating strength to discourage China from further provocations, while also avoiding actions that could be perceived as overly aggressive. For instance, a response might include increased surveillance or strategic repositioning of forces, but it must be measured to prevent unintended escalation. This delicate maneuvering requires an in-depth understanding of Chinese strategic culture, which is influenced by historical grievances and the Chinese Communist Party's emphasis on sovereignty and territorial integrity. U.S. officials must also engage in transparent and constructive dialogue with Chinese counterparts, often through channels like the U.S.-China military-to-military communication mechanism, established to prevent misunderstandings and manage crises. Building trust and confidence in this high-stakes environment involves more than diplomatic finesse. It requires ongoing efforts to address core issues, such as cyber espionage and trade disputes, which can further strain relations. For instance, incidents like the 2018 US-China trade war have heightened sensitivities and complicated diplomatic efforts. Ultimately, the goal of U.S. diplomacy in managing Chinese drone incursions is not to eliminate the threat, but to navigate it in a way that safeguards American interests and promotes regional stability and prosperity. This balancing act ensures that while tensions remain, the potential for conflict is minimized, and cooperation on global issues like climate change and pandemic responses can continue. The U.S. Navy is not just waiting for Chinese drones to make their move. Instead, it's aggressively tackling these aerial threats with some of the most sophisticated technology available. At the forefront of their strategy is electronic warfare, a field that employs a range of advanced techniques to interfere with, deceive, and neutralize enemy drones. For example, signal jamming is used to sever the communication link between a drone and its ground control station, making the drone effectively powerless. GPS spoofing manipulates the drone's navigation system by sending false signals, causing it to stray off course or even crash. This technique became notably effective when the U.S. military used it to disrupt Iranian drones in the Gulf region. However, as drones become more advanced and capable of operating autonomously, sometimes equipped with AI for advanced decision-making, electronic warfare alone isn't enough. Drones are increasingly designed to navigate and complete missions with minimal or no human input, making them more resilient to traditional countermeasures. To address these evolving challenges, the Navy is exploring additional innovative technologies. Directed energy weapons, such as high-powered lasers and microwave systems, are in development. These weapons can target and disable drones with pinpoint accuracy by emitting focused energy beams. For instance, The Navy's laser weapon system, deployed on the USS Ponce, demonstrated its ability to shoot down small aerial targets during testing. The Navy is also investing in kinetic interception methods, which involve using physical projectiles or missile systems to intercept and destroy drones. These methods are designed to counter high-speed and high-altitude drones that might evade other countermeasures. In addition to these, the Navy is developing advanced radar systems that can detect and track small, low-flying drones with high precision. These radars work in conjunction with other systems to create a multi-layered defense network. As drone technology continues to evolve, the U.S. Navy remains committed to staying ahead of these advancements, exploring every possible avenue to ensure robust defense against increasingly sophisticated aerial threats. The use of counter-drone weapons introduces a range of critical legal and ethical challenges that must be navigated with care. For instance, in recent years, the U.S. Navy and other military forces have had to balance their technological advancements with adherence to international laws and the laws of armed conflict. This balance is essential to prevent violations such as unlawful targeting or excessive collateral damage. The complexity of these issues is heightened by the rapid evolution of drone technology, which includes everything from small commercial drones to advanced military systems. Counter-drone measures, such as laser systems and high-tech jamming devices, must be deployed in a manner that aligns with the Geneva Conventions and the principles of proportionality and distinction. These principles require that any military action must distinguish between combatants and non-combatants, and that the force used must be proportional to the threat posed. Moreover, the challenge of minimizing civilian casualties and collateral damage has been underscored by incidents such as the 2020 attack on the Saudi Aramco oil facilities, where drones caused significant damage but also prompted discussions about the ethics of drone warfare and the need for stricter controls. As technology continues to advance at a breakneck pace, the legal and regulatory landscape surrounding drone warfare is evolving as well. This includes new treaties and agreements, such as the proposed UN framework for regulating autonomous weapons systems, which seek to address the gaps in current international law. Ensuring transparency and accountability in counter-drone operations is not just a legal obligation but also crucial for maintaining public trust and international stability. What are your thoughts about the implications of this interception for global relations and the future of naval operations? Let us have your opinions in the comment below.